I want to talk to you and myself about weight loss. I have a busy life, and this year has been ridiculously more busy than most. I've had a job that starts at 8 o'clock and ends at midnight, and it's very easy to pile on the pounds when you do something like that. Now, weight loss is quite simple. It's all about calorie deficit. You just simply eat less calories, or you consume less calories than you burn. And it's quite easy to burn calories. You don't have to join a gym and spend £200 a month on some fancy course. You don't have to buy a bike even. You can literally just go for a walk. Now, walking is, a reasonable amount of calories per half an hour. So you can easily just watch what you eat. I'm not affiliated to this product, but I like the app called MyFitnessPal. And in that, you can track everything you eat. It gives you a full list of all of the calories that you consume. Everything that you take in can be added to it. And you've got to be strict with it. You've got to write down everything that you eat. Every single calorie, alcohol, everything. I mean, we all like a drink on the weekend. It's not, if you're in your 40s, there's a good chance that you're not teetotal. And I'm not telling you to do that. But just count the numbers, see what you consume. And then get Strava and track your walks, or track your mountain bike rides, or track your cycling, or just track your steps. And if you're doing 10,000 steps a day, you're a good way towards getting that deficit, getting into that deficit. And I think it's confused a lot these days by people telling you you've got to have this diet or you've got to go on that diet. Diets are absolutely rubbish. I'm sorry, but apart from intermittent fasting, which can help you get into a deficit, there's absolutely no diets that are going to just be the ticket. And don't get me started on Ozempic. I'll talk about that in another video, but I think that's just a horrendous way to lose weight and muscle mass. But you've just got to get yourself into a calorie deficit and the weight comes off. And about 1.5 years ago, before I started this job, I perfected this technique. And every day I take my calories and I would write them down on a spreadsheet. I get a Google sheet, and I get on the Google sheet, I'd write how many calories I burnt and how many calories I consumed. And if you lose, or if you get in a deficit of 7,700 calories, that's normally for most people 1 kilo. So every 7,700 calories you lose a kilo. Now, just through walking, weight training, and just through walking and weight training, I managed to get myself in a 7,700 calorie deficit throughout the week. I didn't cut out any foods I enjoyed, didn't cut out drinking on the weekends. It was just a case of getting yourself into a deficit and making sure that the numbers added up or subtracted on a weekly basis, and the weight flies off. And I've been working way too hard this year. It's something that, sometimes in life you have a contract come your way and it pays really well and you take it, but it doesn't always do the best for you, for your mind or your body. And I've put on a lot of weight, and I think a lot about what I'm going to talk about on this channel is the realism of life in your 40s. And it's a mountain biking channel, but putting on weight is an occupational hazard for a 40-something parent, but it doesn't have to be. And if you can gamify almost the act of weight loss just by having that spreadsheet, writing everything down, making yourself what's the word? Accountable, making yourself accountable for the calories you're consuming, the weight will fly off you. Now, bonus if you want to ride a bike, because that is going to burn way more calories. It gets you into a deficit far quicker than walking will, but you don't need any fancy equipment. You just need to go for a walk. And walking is fantastic. I think 10,000 steps a day, I heard a statistic that it literally halves your chances of dying of anything. I mean, you'd make that deal, wouldn't you? You'd take that 10,000 steps a day and And not only is it good for your weight loss, it's good for your mind. You know, I mean, look at this. You know, I'm out in nature, it's quiet. Yeah, I've picked up the phone to talk to people and, you know, deliver a message to people and myself, as I said. But it's just a nice place to be. Just not in the house, not staring at a computer screen. It just makes the difference. So here's my advice. And I'm not an expert. I am not a medical professional. I am not a fitness trainer. And there are some very good fitness trainers out there if you want to speak to one of those. But let me tell you something now. Build muscle, keep yourself in a calorie deficit, and eat calorie dense foods. And the weight will fly off. It will literally fly off you. So there's no real excuse. And that's my advice to myself. And over the next couple of weeks, this is going, and it's going to be a winter of pretty good training, I think. And hopefully next year we might find ourselves on a couple of start lines for some races. Anyway, have a good evening, afternoon, morning, whatever it is. Cheers.